What does Bald and Bankrupt really think of India? In his videos, Bald and Bankrupt talks about how much he appreciates India, even going so far as to say he quote-unquote fell in love with the country. But you will notice that as soon as he built a following and started getting decent money from YouTube, his immediate move was to leave the country. He disappeared from there faster than a toupee in a hurricane. So the question arises, what are Bald and Bankrupt's real inner thoughts about India and Indians? The man is so adept at duplicity that the real answer can only be gathered from the place where he was most open, candid and truthful. That is when he was using his alias on the Roosh V forum. Under the cloak of anonymity was possibly the only time in his life that he was actually being 100% truthful. So what did he say about India when he was not beholden to uttering sweet words to win over the masses for his YouTube channel? When he was writing under his pen name The Fantasist, he stated that his 4 years in India was, quote, the biggest regret of his life, unquote. Those are some powerful words. That is one big statement. So to be clear, the biggest regret of his life so far was not his divorce. The biggest regret in his life was not his rape trial and the actions leading up to it. The biggest regret of his life so far was his time spent in India. That must come as a real insult to the people of India. This man would rather be taken to trial for rape than live in India. It's a real 180 on what he says publicly. The complete opposite of what he professes in his videos and social media sites. So why did he really go back if he regretted his time there so much? I think this ties in with one of Bald and Bankrupt's stated goals on his top 5 goal list: to make money online that would allow him to keep traveling. Ben has proven to be a very driven and astute and intelligent operator. He understands human emotions and knows how to play and manipulate people. Not just women but also men. Ben had seen from Harold's videos that YouTube was a viable source to income. And he also knew that views equals money. Ben also knows that India has a huge population. I'm sure Ben realized somewhere along the line that this huge population of India, which is over 1 billion people, would be a great force to harness when establishing a YouTube career. There is absolutely no doubt that Ben took note of and studied the YouTuber Carl Rock. Ben has admitted that he watched and followed Carl Rock's channel before making his own India videos. It would not be lost on Ben that Carl Rock went overnight from being a nobody to being a YouTuber, amassing hundreds of thousands of views on multiple videos based solely on his position as the only English-speaking content creator in India. Ben saw a market niche and exploited it. Ben copied Carl Rock's formula for YouTube stardom. He began diving into the process of making regular content based in India after Carl Rock had blazed the path. But with his extrovert nature and his interactions with locals, he quickly gathered much more momentum amongst the Indian viewers, and it propelled him to in time surpass Carl Rock easily. Ben had begun to make a name for himself in the YouTube space, but as soon as this was established and he'd harnessed the Indian masses to gain the following required to become a YouTube force, Ben quickly left the country. As soon as the following he'd built allowed him to sustain himself on YouTube money, he left. So in conclusion, if you ask me if Ben truly loves the country of India, I would say no. Not at all. He saw how it could fulfill a need for him, and once that need was fulfilled, he disappeared quicker than a pack of Lay's chips at a Weight Watchers meeting. If Ben loved the country, he'd be there now when he doesn't still have the need for the teeming Indian masses to bulk up his social media clout on his various accounts. Instead, he has made no plan to return at all. It's almost a certainty that he will never ever return unless it's for some promotional purpose. He may sometime in future do a quick junket there to stoke the fires of social media, but you can bet your last rupee he will not be staying for any extended period of time. As he said, his time in India and amongst Indians was the #1 biggest regret of his entire life, so I doubt he would want to spend much more time than strictly necessary there. Especially now that he has the freedom and money to be and live wherever he wants. Of course, he will still say sweet things about India and Indians in his social media. He prefers to keep them on side because they are a powerful numerical force on any social media outlet. But if you, like me, judge a man more by his actions and not just his empty words, then you will most likely begin to see what Ben really thinks of India.